quite upset right now. Very good friend John gave me a copy of the Bible with the Apocrypha in it. And I'm reading about Judith. It's the book of Judith. I'm real upset because it details what happened to the Jewish people between the end of the Old Testament and when Jesus was born. And without understanding that history, you don't understand why it was such a big deal that he said, yes, Gentiles can be saved. And without reading this particular book, the book of Judith, like you don't see that God uses women. I don't know why they took this out, and I don't know who did it. But I want to find out, I'll tell you that right now. I don't even know what to read. There's a storm going in around me, literally. Judith is watching King Nebuchadnezzar. He has come in. He's decided he's taken over. And he has sent out letters to all of these towns. And he said, hey, I'm going to war. And y'all are fighting with me. And all these villages and towns, they said, no, we're not. And they disrespected King Nebuchadnezzar. And he wanted to be God. He wanted them to actually call him Lord. And he wanted to be the ruler of all. And only the Israelites went, oh no, you ain't coming in and doing that. Like that, he was literally burning everybody's temples, taking away their ability to worship their God. Like, that's not okay. And so all of a sudden the Jews say, we're not going to do it. And so they surround, this massive army surrounds and does what they did later to many Jews after Jesus died. They starved them out. That's what they decided to do. So they're camped all around and they're starving them out. And finally the people start fainting literally from hunger. They're starving to death and they're thirsty. They're completely out of water. And so all the townsfolk go to basically the king of Israel and they say, go right now, tell King Nebuchadnezzar that we surrender, you know, and that way he can spare our lives. And the king, I mean, what could he do? He just said, give me 5 more days. Let's make it 5 more days and God will do something. And that's where I'm at right now. It's my first time to read Judith. And the reason that I decided to stop and record this, I wanted to really capture the way that I feel right now, because Judith is a widow. Woo! And she comes forward and she has her handmaid preach. It's the lady that's in charge of taking care of everything she has, because her husband had died in the field. And after he died, she just lived on her roof in a tent, and she just stayed in mourning, and she didn't eat. She only ate 1 day a week. Like, we're talking, she was really going through something, and she was turning to God during all of that. So all of a sudden, Judith hears all the people talking about the king of Israel. Of course, she sees everyone encamped around the city, and she decides that she's going to do something about it. And I'm trying to find it, but my goodness, Judith. She basically comes out. You've got to read this chapter, this book. She basically comes out and says, open the gates. Let me and my handmaiden out, and I will take down the army. And they will be ashamed because a woman did it. I needed this book when I was growing up. We're talking about a strong heroine for God. I needed this book. You might too. Check it out. It's in the Apocrypha, the chapters that were removed from the Bible in the 1800s. I found out about it, just in case you don't know, when I was doing a lot of historic research for the house I'm restoring, and wound up at a friend's house whose mother got out her family Bible dating back to the 1700s. And so this is an early, kind of early American, Bible. And there was an entire huge section in there I did not know had existed. And research showed me they took it out in the 1800s is what it's looking like to me. I still can't pinpoint exactly when or why, but all of these stories I've been reading, they're all stories of strong women. It's like the Jews had a women's lib movement right before the birth of Jesus, and I mean right before. And then he respected women. It's starting to make a lot of sense to me. The Bible's starting to make a whole lot more sense. Mwah. Love y'all. Bye.